Yep. So in the thick of the storm now, and we want to welcome to work Chief Meteorologist Mike Haddad. For the first time, we will be hearing from the chief today on where this storm is at, Mike, and when it's moving out.
Yeah, this storm is so impressive, but just to give you an idea of kind of perspective between New Hampshire and Massachusetts, all of the airports have been closed down there. Logan, TF Green, Providence, over 30 inches of snow out of this kind of winter hurricane happening just southeast of Cape Cod and the islands. In New York City, all of the airports closed. Philadelphia, the same story. While Manchester is open, and it's not because of a threat in terms of whether the flights are canceled or not due to snow or even the wind, it's due to the visibility. So as the planes come in, if they don't have, I believe it's about 1,800 feet to look down the runway, they will not be able to come on in, but they've had just enough visibility to do that, and the airport has remained open. So again, as Gene mentioned, call ahead and make sure that your flights are still on. You can do that online, of course, as well. But again, just to give some perspective as to what's happening here versus what's happening down to our south. Clearly, Doppler radar shows the story. Yes, we have been hit with quite a bit of snow. Exeter, by the way, in the last few minutes, chiming in, one of our viewers with 10 inches of snow. We've had about 4.5 to 5 in the Queen City. Clearly, this has been a southern New Hampshire event, and especially southern New England one. We have been right in the northern part. If there's a brunt of a storm, we've been in the northern part of that brunt in southern New Hampshire. You live to the north, you're probably asking what all the fuss is about, and for good reason. As we've been talking about for days, you weren't going to get in on much snow from the storm, so it's really an area to the south. And again, radar sums it all up. Providence, over 30 inches of snow. And look at this band that's still sitting over this portion of southern New England. Same story over towards Plymouth. This bright blue indicating snowfall rates over 1, 2, even 3 inches per hour. And there is a pretty good band just around the Queen City, down through areas just west of Nashua and east of, say, Hinsdale, and those areas, well to the east of Hinsdale, east of, say, Jaffrey. So we're going to see potentially another coating to 1 inch or 2 of snow. Maybe a coating to 1 inch or 2 far north. Same story farther to the south. The visibility, just a bit too high to reach blizzard criteria, so this is likely not going to go down as a blizzard for the Granite State, but certainly some low visibility. The roads are slick, and it's going to be very tough traveling. My basic advice is this: don't go out just to go out for a ride. But if you really have to venture out, just allow a lot of extra time. The roads are not impassable in many spots, but you are going to find some intersections where the snow hasn't been cleared away. Again, southern New Hampshire to the north, no problem. And again, it will take some time to get around. Visibility got down to an eighth of a mile for 2 straight hours in Portsmouth with the winds of 35 or higher. You needed 1 more hour of that to qualify as a blizzard. The winds did their part, but the visibility came up a little bit, therefore no blizzard along the coast. But the winds still quite a factor, so the snow will tend to shut down in the coming hours, but the visibility will be down at times due to more blowing snow. And you can see the snowfall during the next several hours. It's going to completely fall apart, on top of which you have right now an additional coating to maybe 1 inch or 2. And that's basically what we're going to see in terms of snowfall. Clearly a lot more happening off to our south. So for those in northern and northwestern New Hampshire, not an event at all, but to the south certainly has had quite a bit of an impact being on the northern part of the brunt of this storm. We're going to bring in meteorologist Hayley LaPoint, who has been in here as well, pouring over some of the data, and is going to look at the winds going forward, because right now we're kind of at the end of that peak several hours of wind. So when will it begin to taper off? Hayley will go through those numbers. Hi, Hayley.
Hi, Mike. Yeah, and one thing that was just so different with this storm has been the wind. It's the type of thing, maybe you woke up this morning and you went to look outside. Maybe you couldn't because the snow has kind of come up on the house or up on the windows, blocking your view out there. So especially on the, say, the northern, eastern sides of your house might have snow all over it. That's not something that we have dealt with over the last couple of storms here because wind was not as much of a factor at all. But this storm, totally different. You've been hearing it howling outside. Upwards of 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It looks like Portsmouth just within the last half hour, a wind gust of 46 miles per hour. And it has turned to be more out of the north. Remember, with a nor'easter, that means that the winds predominantly as the storm's moving through are out of the northeast, but they have shifted to be more northerly as the storm is starting to exit and move away from us. But from Concord to Manchester, wind gusts still exceeding 30 miles per hour, 31 miles per hour in Keene. So let's take a look to the south. Boston has consistently been gusting over 60 miles per hour. Latest wind gust at 43, so some improvement there. Even Providence to 46 miles per hour. And then out toward Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. Look at Nantucket, 74 mile per hour wind gusts there. And that has been going on for hours. So really remarkable winds out there causing damage for sure, with power lines down in many areas across Cape Cod and the islands. Now back closer to home for us, we are looking at wind gusts upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour. And there could be a few times this afternoon where we get the winds spiking up a little bit more. Again, from say Portsmouth to Rochester, Manchester, Nashua, even Jaffrey may see a few wind gusts exceeding 40 miles per hour. Through the afternoon, this is 3 p.m., so you can see where the time frame is and how, yes, it is mostly southern and southeastern areas of the state. You can even see Cape Ann here and then up into down east Maine as the whole system is shifting out over the ocean, moving up to the north and east. It'll really shift the concerns for the coast. And then by the time we get to later on this evening, the winds very slowly will come down, but it likely is a bit of a breezy night. Tomorrow morning, we still have some wind gusts out of the northwest this time, up to 30 miles per hour. So tomorrow, even once the snow is gone, there may be some issues with blowing snow, since the snow is going to be a little lighter in consistency now that the temperatures are colder. You've got 30 mile per hour plus gusts tomorrow morning. So there actually could be some renewed road issues tomorrow just from blowing snow, reducing visibility again. But probably a good idea to get out, do some clearing of the snow this evening, and then you might have to do another round tomorrow morning just because of the wind blowing it all around. Let's talk about the coast here, because this is our next concern over the next couple of hours, as a matter of fact. So here we are, it's 1:53. We are coming up now toward the high tide. The height of it is forecast to get to 11 feet, which does mean minor coastal flooding. For areas like Hampton, that's going to mean some of the back harbor area is going to come up. Some of the parking lots that usually flood, we're going to see that. And there's also likely to be splash over and maybe even some beach erosion. So this is something, you know, growing up in Massachusetts, we would actually go to the coast and try to watch these huge waves at high tide. But it's super dangerous to do that, because when you see those big waves crashing, they have things coming in along with the waves. So I know I was watching Kelly earlier today. She said that she's seen lobster traps come out onto the road. Certainly a possibility, but loose rocks, even huge rocks, can sometimes be thrown over the seawall when you have just these higher waves and the tidal flooding that we're likely going to see at 3:30. So we're going to keep our eyes on that as we go through the next hour or so as we get closer and closer to high tide. There is a coastal flood warning that continues for the coastal roadways here and the communities right at the coast until 6 p.m. But the worst of it is probably within the next 2 hours or so, where we'll see the water come up and then eventually come back down, falling behind the high tide. All right, so we're going to go back over to Mike, who's going to give us an update on what we're going to be seeing moving forward here. Hi, Mike.
And hello, Hayley. I think if we keep you up just for a second, I was going to mention that a lot of people, when a storm hits with such a large wave action, they want to go to the coast. Yes. We don't recommend that today, but maybe tomorrow?
Yeah.
The waves are still there, no threat of flooding. What do you think?
Yeah, and you don't have to drive in all of this.
Yeah.
So it'll be a much better day tomorrow.
And the ocean's still churned up because of the storm that's out there now. Yeah, look at the visibility in Portsmouth right now. It is basically down to about a half a mile or so. Snow is still flying. The winds are active, and that'll be the case for the next several hours. In terms of our travel impacts between now and, say, early part of the evening. We'll call it high due to the low visibility. The snowfall rate not all that intense, but of course the roads are slick where it has been snowing. Tonight down to medium. Snow is over, but some blowing and drifting snow at times. And yes, the road's still slippery because the temps are going to be running well below freezing through early tomorrow morning. Very low impact tomorrow after about 9 or 10 in the morning. And then on Wednesday, a weak system with maybe a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, so a low to medium impact for travel during that time. So again, in the coming hours, snow certainly the heaviest in the southern part of the state. This is not an event for you north and west of Concord. It really is just a very late snowfall at most. Wind gusts, again, have been over 40 to 45 near the coastline. You could see a couple more gusts, as Hayley pointed out, in the next couple of hours, up near 40 to 45. And then the winds are going to become much less of a factor in terms of real strong winds for, say, power outages or that sort of thing after about 4 or 5 p.m. And that minor flooding, as Hayley pointed out, still a factor there in the coming hours. One more look at our satellite loop. Again, it kind of looks like a hurricane, and it has triggered hurricane winds over portions of southeastern Mass, Cape Cod and the islands, I believe Nantucket, up to 83 for top wind gust there, but no blizzard criteria met because the visibility was a bit too high. So their winds have been way over the threshold to reach a blizzard, but technically not on Nantucket Island, even though they've been gusting well over minimal hurricane force. So we'll talk more about this departure of the system and more coming up in just a little bit.